Alrighty. We'll be talking about Fearless Disrespect and Exceed as a fighting game. Our host here is ReggiesWar and everything.
Hello.
Hey. Noted for a very aggressive playstyle, and I think a pretty strong exemplar of the Discord meta in action.
So my first advice right now is just throw out everything Taxi said. Uh, he told me to flame him, and I'm not gonna do that. But I am gonna say he thinks too much.
Alright. So we're going to be, much like you would have just seen when I was fighting Taxi, going through some games and talking about how we're making decisions, why we're doing certain things, to explain what Reggie's playstyle, how Reggie's playstyle informs his decisions, which will grant you some knowledge you can choose to implement as you see fit. And
Uh,
probably, our game's going to go pretty fast, so there will probably be an opportunity for character requests after we've done a couple rounds.
apologies if I don't really make it clear, because a lot of what I do I don't really think about. So uh, yeah.
See me. See me. Alright.
I always call heads.
And I always call tails.
It makes the games go quicker.
Alright, I'll take first.
And that's something I don't want. As an aggressive player, I always like to take first turn. I feel like it gives me a lot more control of the start of the game. I can just start doing my nonsense on turn one.
Let's see. I don't... These cards are all fine, but none of them are the opener that I want, so I'm going to mulligan 5.
I'm gonna mulligan one. No, sorry, the other thing. I'm gonna mulligan 5.
Alright, on the first turn, I'm going to use my character ability to close one and draw for end of turn. So, Mole Knight's ability lets him place his burrow at range 3, so I'm making that a little bit more awkward by standing on range 3. Range 3 is also a good mix-up range.
It's also quite awkward for me because you draw 2 cards when you do it. Or you draw one for the ability and one for end of turn. And I really don't like discarding cards because that's one less card I can use or threaten to use.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't really want to use my burrow in this situation, so I'm just gonna strike.
I would rather initiate with cards in my hand than defend with them. I'll just Wild Swing. Oh. I didn't.
Oh yes,
Alright. That's one
this
Shinryu,
worked
though.
out very well. Take 5 and I push you 1.
Indeed. Alright. That's not what I wanted.
What I really want to do is I want to keep him out of range 2.
Reading Assault.
Okay. No. How dare you? Who do you think you are?
Alright, he's in excellent hands. Not so much at this range, but Headbutt is one
Yeah,
of... Headbutt is an incredibly good card, so...
it might be the best force special in the game.
At least that is currently released.
Yes.
Alright. I'm just gonna get some gauge.
Alright. Draw a card. As an action, I'll place my burrow at range 2. This is range 3, sorry. This is just to present more threats and put pressure on D. He can step in, and he probably will.
Yep. So, Jeppy's asked a great question in chat, which is, what does Fearless Disrespect mean? Fearless Disrespect is the term I use to refer to Reggie's playstyle. So, in previous sections of this workshop, y'all saw about set play, which is basically just setup and exceed, right? It's, I want to do something that makes my attack better, more reliable. I want to do something that makes it guaranteed, even, and makes my opponent have to think twice about striking into me. Fearless Disrespect is predicated on the idea that, I don't care, I'm going to strike into you anyway.
Yeah, I feel like that's a waste of cards. Why set up with cards when I could just use them to attack?
Exactly. Also, a lot of the premises of defensive set play in particular are about, I'm going to make sure I'm representing a threat that you have to respect, even if I don't have it in hand. So that's countered by the idea of, well, if you don't have it in hand, I'm just going to strike you, and then you lose the strike, which we
Yeah,
saw happen
I'll
once or twice.
strike. You're either gonna win, or you don't have it in hand, and I win.
Yep, I am in fact going to step in. Same reason as before, I don't want you to use the burrow, and I like range 3 as a mix-up range.
Now, in saying I don't about defensive set play, I am gonna play a boost because, importantly, this gets rid of a normal out of my hand that he knew, and and it gives me extra range, and extra range is, in my opinion, even better than extra speed.
Yeah, I'm going to parry headbutt, because this is very
Yeah,
obviously threatening an unbeatable headbutt.
it forced him to get rid of a block out of his hand. I'm perfectly, especially since now that means he has no blocks until he reshuffles. And I have one of these in my hand. I'm going to Lost Treasure, return a special or ultra from discard to hand, then shuffle my discard.
Ah.
So I return Headbutt. I do not draw at the end of this turn.
Alright, I'm going to run in. I'm going to decide if I want to switch past or not. Which is actually a little bit interesting. So I'm thinking about that headbutt threat, right? It is push 2. So if I'm here, then he'd end up here, and then we'd be either at range 4 or 1, his choice, if he were to initiate with it and I don't beat it somehow. Whereas here, he would push and then either retreat to range 3. Yeah, so I'm going to move past you. I'm specifically thinking about what happens if you hit with headbutt.
As an action, I'll prepare.
Alright. I'm going to play a really good boost. Plus 2 power, plus 2 speed.
Gross. I'm just gonna run away. Yeah, to there.
Interesting. I have choices to make here. I will strike.
I will set this in response.
So
Okay, it was what I thought.
Jeppy said, prepare. Where's the reckless disregard? So part of that was he was pretty confident in his position. So
yeah, a lot of people will say prepare is just worse than change cards, but I don't want to be running through my deck too quickly because I do that myself. I don't want to spend cards basically. Yeah. Also, if I don't have to have the answer in my hand. You should always be okay with wild swinging. I'm sure you've heard that several times today.
Alright, so I'm speed 6, doesn't matter though, you're just blocking. 6 power, and amusingly, I take 2 damage.
Yep, funnily enough, I take no damage.
Yep, I get out-traded by block. As an after effect, I will get this back on top of my deck.
Alright, as an action, I will place my burrow at range 3 and draw 2 cards.
I'm going to go back onto it and get my Hadouken and one other card. So Jeffy's asked, why didn't you strike at range 1 when I was behind you and you were over here?
There's mostly just because I like to use my burrow as Mole Knight. I'll often not do what I consider the best plays in favor of what I consider to be fun plays. Like landing Headbutt is always a fun play, and I'm always going to try and land Headbutt. It's doesn't always serve me well, especially in tournaments. Jay. I'm gonna boost Belly Slide.
That is a very good boost. I'm going to run over here.
Can I do something funny here? Striking, gaining the before.
Huh. So amusingly, you are still threatening Headbutt, but you're no longer threatening any speed 7 options.
Correct.
So I'm going to critical EX Axe Kick.
Oh.
Yep,
I was okay with axe kick. I was not okay with EX axe kick.
that's why I played it.
All right.
Take 6.
That's something I also like. I also think is good, and I like to do. Initiate with slow cards, because they're good. They trade well.
Alright, so I'm going to play this boost. I draw 2 cards, 1 for end of turn, and I have hit gain advantage.
Scary. I'm scared. I'm
So
gonna set the
Jeppy's-
burrow to range 3.
So Jumpy's, I don't think he thought I was going to beat Headbutt at range 1 per se, but Headbutt is technically beatable, and if you
Yeah.
can play it when it's unbeatable, it's just better to do it then. Mix, the reason he couldn't play Speed 7 stuff is there was nothing Speed 7 that hit. He had 2 before effects.
Yeah.
One was to move to his burrow, and then one was to advance 2. And nothing he had at Speed 7 would have hit then, because he was playing 1 card. It was not EX. If it was EX, he could have played Speed 7. Alright. So you placed it behind me. That's fine. I'm striking. I just gotta figure out with what.
Yeah.
I think this.
I'm gonna wild swing.
That's great for me. You take 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
My advantage.
Your advantage.
What is this? What are these draws? +1 speed, draw for end of turn, and then discard.
Strike, gaining the before.
Alright, so this can only be so fast. It could be assault. And by the way, oh, it can't be assault, excuse me. Both are down.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I've got speed. So I'm going to play against... So the fastest thing that hits me is speed 4. That's actually really
No.
important.
The spot. I still have a headbutt live. I still have cross live.
Oh, I had us mixed up. That's range 2, not range 3. Never mind.
Yep.
This is a lot less safe than I thought. Alright, let's rethink that.
Now, if this was a tournament game, I probably wouldn't have corrected him, because I don't have to. I'm not under any obligation. But, you should.
I mean, it's for
Don't
teaching,
let
so I
people-
appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we were in the other positions, which actually would have been great for me. As it is, it's pretty iffy. I will wild swing here. Nah.
That works.
Yeah, I guess it does. Oh, that works really well.
Yep.
Critical. This is hyper-telegraphed, but it also doesn't matter, because you can't do anything about it.
Spend a gauge, take 2 force to take nothing. Set the burrow to range 3, draw 2 cards.
Critical wild swing.
Yep.
So he's losing the
Wow.
strikes, and that's fine, because once he gets to initiate, everything's going to change. Ah,
Hey, that's not an entire loss. I
Yeah.
take 5.
I will continue putting this on top of my deck until I'm given reason to regret that decision.
Hmm.
Point man, if
Yeah.
my draws are your draws on an average day, you must never lose games, because I have gotten unbelievably good draws.
EX attack,
Okay,
and
this
gaining
is
the
not good.
before.
This is actually very not good. Well, it's not spike. It's not assault. So he's dropped a lot of duplicates. This is actually a big deal, because it means there's a lot of things that I know it's not, even if you only played 1 card. So this is almost certainly the dive, because dive is, well, pretty much unbeatable. Is there anything else it could be? No. Yes, sweet. Oh, yikes. So if it's sweep, I want to at least get some damage on, so I am going to wild swing the Hadouken.
Alright, you're correct, it was sweep.
Alright, so take 3.
So it would, in my opinion, it was pretty easy to work out what I was playing there, because I'll just go, 9 times out of 10, I'll go for the high damage option.
Alright,
Alright,
that was your strike, so it's my turn.
Yep.
+1 speed, critical strike.
Critical strike. What? And now I have to look at Can's cards because I don't know what Can has in his kit. Oh. Is it just... Could just be the other copy of Hadoken. Yeah, it could very much just be the other copy of Hadoken. God, this is the other copy of Hadoken. Wild Swing.
100%.
Yep.
You can
I
invalidate
will
that 'cause it's
invalidate.
card special, yep. Alright, take 6.
Alright.
We're gonna keep this train rolling.
And we're in a conundrum here where this is far later in the game than I ever want to exceed as Mole Knight because it's such a low tempo action that I think I just boost cross and run to face. Now I've basically given up all pretense of doing the hit and run playstyle that Mole liked.
Yeah. I mean,
just gonna hit you.
The dive that I got, like, I think it was a wild swing dive, right, to that covered the spike. Like, because of that specific interaction, I ended up at range 6 and got 2 free Hadoken hits, which is a big deal.
Yep.
Speaking of things that
and I didn't land that spike.
+1 speed and strike.
Is it just grasp? I bet you it's just grasp. Yeah, I think it's just grasp. I'm gonna wild swing. It could also be your ultra.
It is absolutely the ultra. Good game.
Good game. I had the other grasp in hand.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. You need an EX though. You need an EX.
Yeah. That hand was very fast. Yeah, that dive. Oof. Unfortunate. So, in my opinion, at least D told me in here, told me to come on and talk about how to play aggressively. And in my opinion, aggression doesn't mean playing every strike, striking every turn. It just means you want to initiate all the strikes.
And in particular, you want to win the strikes you initiate.
Yeah. Take advantage of your initiative, and and you don't really have to win by a lot. When I do win with Mole Knight, not today, obviously, I often win with under 10 life. But it doesn't matter. A win is a win no matter what life you're at.
Yeah, be willing to trade, be willing to play slow things. Like, sweep loses to both spike and dive at range 3, but you can absolutely play range 3 sweep. Like, it works.
Yeah. And, you know, like every other playstyle, be okay playing EXs. I mean, oftentimes I'm not because I want to play a card twice. But if you see the opportunity for a good EX on defense or something like that, just do it. Don't be stuck in your playstyle is a big thing. Sometimes I will switch to a more defensive playstyle if I think it will help me.
Yeah, and if you never do adjust your play, you become predictable, and that is a death blow.
Yeah. When I first started, and for a long time, I used to play Spike just raw a lot. So then people started to expect it. So now people still expect me to play Spike a lot, and I don't, but I still have that threat. I'm going to take first.
Yeah. Another major feature of this, which you'll definitely see come up in this game, is, like, you can strike even if your attack isn't guaranteed, even if your attack doesn't seem particularly good, like range 1 assault. If it hits, it is a mix-up of some sort, unless your discard is absolutely full. Once your discard starts getting full, you become predictable too, and that's also dangerous business. And I'm first player in your fight. Sorry, second player. I'm second player.
Yeah.
That's super... Okay, in that case, I'm mulliganing all of this. Yikes.
Fight has inherent... I don't want to say unbeatable, but pretty monstrous turn 1. If he draws the right things. In this case, I didn't, so I'm just gonna power jump, and I think I will. I think I'll advance too. And since I did not move past you, I add this to gauge. I like to think that Mole, when he's going well, presents a constant pressure, whereas Fight presents spiking pressure, I like to call it. He presents pressure for about 4 strikes a game. It's just that that's all he needs to win. Prepare.
Yeah, same principle as Akuma, actually.
Yeah.
Or at least aggressive Akuma. There's multiple ways to play Akuma.
I would just say, unlike Akuma, it's a lot less, but there's no telegraphing of it.
Retreat 1, ignore armor, strike.
+1 power, +1 speed.
So Serato asks,
Ignores it.
if your opponent gets an early resource advantage, and you're trying to play aggressively, how do you reclaim the initiative? Do you just take a series of low-tempo turns to try and kind of reset neutral?
Sometimes you just forget about the resources. Depends on the character you're playing, and also the character you're playing against. Some characters can get a really big resource advantage, like Enchantress, I'll say. But in my opinion, she doesn't have enough damage for that resource advantage to really kill your momentum. You just have to kind of grin and bear it. A lot of the time, if possible, that's when I like to play my foci or something like that. So I'm drawing cards regardless. That would only be sit. I'm gonna wild swing. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I am upset that that card is down.
All right, you'll take 5.
And I didn't pay, but it's fine because I'm not at good range anyway.
Alright, I'm gonna do the obvious thing. I want Hadouken.
Wow. Wow. So D, what do you think is the best normal to make stun immune? Because I have an opinion on this.
I am convinced that it's Assault.
I think you are 100% correct. I'm gonna spend dive to play this. I will advance 1. I think stun immune assault is absurdly good.
Yep. I will retreat 1 and pick up my Hadouken.
Strike, spending 2 force for my UA.
Well, this can't outspeed me. So even though I'm pretty sure that's just the assault, and it could be something much meaner, I'm going to guarantee that I get some damage in, because I'm losing this trade. Critical Hadouken. Alright,
Okay,
so it is.
4.
I take 6.
I gain advantage.
I will put this on top of my deck.
Interesting. That is something I believe you should be willing to do. Play things that will take damage. Like, I knew he had the Hadoken. I knew he would play the Hadoken. And I also knew that I was going to get more damage out of it and get advantage. So it didn't really matter to me. On my turn, I'm going to prepare, though.
Alright, I'm going to... I'm going to get out of the corner, actually. That's what I need to do.
I'm going to strike and spend 2 force.
Alright, so this very much feels like the grasp, because I just got myself out of the corner, and very often when an opponent strikes after this, it feels like grasp.
Nope.
Wrong. Alright. I take 4,
Take
you
2.
take 2. Look at cards.
Draw a card. And in that scenario, focus is actually kind of risky, because the opponent could just play cross. Or... But, doesn't matter. I try not to think about what the opponent could play, and just think about what I'm gonna play.
I'm gonna retreat.
The opponent matters way less to me than I do. Which sounds pretty self-centered, but it is how I play. I don't really think about what the opponent's gonna do.
Yeah, and this actually provides important strengths. Like, one of the things about set play is you become predictable because you telegraph certain threats. And we talked a lot about, like, oh, here's the telegraph. Like, here's what you're saying when you're playing this in those previous games, where it was like, oh, I have +3 speed, so I'm telegraphing dive or spike or whatever. if you play without caring about what your opponent's going to play in response, and you're willing to be unsafe, and they have +2 speed, and you just play Spike because you don't care, then you don't you just stop being predictable.
Speaking of speed, for my ability, I'll put +1 speed, and I'll retreat 1, and then I put another +1 speed with after retreat 1 on it.
Gotcha. Not sure I like that.
I love it. I'm a massive fan of what I've just done.
Alright. I gotta do math. Okay, done with math. +2 power, +2 speed.
That's what I saved this for, tech. I would have much rather liked to strike with that at this range, because it would have been 6 speed, and it would have probably been, what, 8 power?
8 power, yeah.
But we do what we must.
Indeed we do. I retreat 1. I'm probably gonna eat
How
some
much gauge do you have?
I have 3.
Yeah. How do you only have 3 cards in your discard?
I
Wow.
again.
Yeah, and I'm playing fight.
Yep.
So I'm going to have more cards in discard.
Yep.
Speaking of, I'm just gonna parry that Hadoken. That is less for the Hadoken and more for I'm worried about defensive. I think defensive is really good.
Not super happy about this. Huh.
And speaking of telegraphs, there's one card that fight is almost always telegraphing when it's in range, because it might just be his best special.
Yep.
That would be explosive shot.
Yep. That's what I'm currently looking at, because that is a 6 power ignore armor attack. That is currently speed 7 if you were to throw it right now. I say 6 power because that's Fight's ability. For those who didn't catch it, when Fight sets his attack, whether on offense or defense, he can normally spend up to 2 force for +1 power each. In Exceed mode, that is up to 3 force for +1 power each. That's why all his printed powers are like trash, because he has an ability that lets him amp them up massively.
But, on the other hand, you could just play normals and throw extra power on them, which is very effective.
Alright, so here I'm going to try to call a bluff. I'm going to spend a force for this boost, move 2 and strike. I will retreat and wild swing.
So that would not be what I call calling a bluff. In my mind, that is just negating that threat. But on the other hand, it does mean I have to have the other card. I'm gonna wild swing.
That's what I mean. Sorry, I'm calling out explosive shot, and I'm at risk of running into electro charge.
Yep. Well, guess what?
I don't.
Nope.
I'm
you go.
Yeah, I went speed tie, so I close 2, and then you push me 1.
Yep. Unfortunate. And the really sad thing here is, now explosive shot no longer beats his Hadoken, if I had one. Mm-hmm. So, I'm just gonna boost cross. Move into cross range.
Alright. I have exhausted a lot of resources negating that threat. I'm gonna prep.
I'm gonna strike, spending 1, 2, 3 power. Force for power.
Critical, sure you can.
Oh, fantastic! This is my favorite play in Fight's kit.
So you take 4 and I take 9.
I knew he had the Shoryuken. I was way more scared of him playing the cross.
What about if I had played a dive?
Yeah,
that would have been nice. That would have been great.
Yeah, that would have bummed me out.
Alright, I'm gonna retreat 1. Go back to range 2.
I'm gonna prepare.
I will prepare.
Prep. Now, fight, I will often take a lot of downtime preparing, just because of the way his engine works. It's just...
I'll prepare again. I'm okay here.
But I often find, if you start preparing a lot, the opponent will as well. I don't know what it is, but something about preparing makes other people prepare. So, sometimes that can be enough. I'm gonna boost Speed Shell. There's the other copy of it.
I'm gonna do something kind of similar. except mine has power.
I'm gonna boost sweep because I don't respect your authority. Yeah, I kind of respect your authority. Strike, and I'll spend 2 force.
Actually, 2 force.
2 force.
That is not 3.
It's not 3.
Huh. Alright, so y'all will notice he still has an assault. He still has a spike. He does not have a sweep anymore, so that's good for me. He still has a focus. So he still has a decent number of options here. So what's important about 2 force? It doesn't matter for retreating bolts, because retreating bolts misses no matter what. Nobody plays power jump as an attack. It's terrible.
No. It's just not very good.
Fair. I mean, I'll wild swing it.
It beats sweep.
That's true. It has one job, which is beating sweep, and it does that job admirably.
Beating sweep and setting up explosive shot.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at this reference over here and try to figure out what I'm
Go
afraid
ahead.
of. So it's really tripping, like it's really messing with my head that you spent 2 force. Because usually that means you care about a breakpoint. You're not just unloading damage. If that's the case, like, it doesn't feel like cross, because if it was cross, you could unload damage pretty freely, because I don't have any Shoryus left. So, like, the other possibility is that he wants all of those cards, but that's pretty unlikely. What does 2 force matter for? You only have 1 gauge, it's not an ultra. Maybe it's assault, but assault only needs 1 force to beat donkey kick, and it would need 3 to beat sweep. I'm genuinely confused here. I don't know what's happening. You have this after effect. Huh. So normally, being this confused, I would wild swing. However, there's 2 extra points of life on the line, and I am too far behind to take huge risks, so I'm gonna play the safest thing I have and hope it's not cross. Alright.
It was so I take 2.
Yep. And then retreat 1 and draw a card.
Yeah. D, do you want to know why I played that? Should I tell the wonderful viewers at home?
I strongly believe you did that just to screw with me.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're in a position to, playing cards in a non-optimal way to mess with people, particularly against opponents like D, who are really good at reading people, or that's what they rely on, A, it's really funny, and B, it's quite effective.
Yes. Yes. Play the unexpected thing, and it will really screw with people, like that just did with me. Alright, I will boost defend.
Okay. I'm gonna boost cross. Going to there.
I will boost power.
Ooh. Huh. I'm gonna EX attack. Spinning. 1, 2, 3.
I should have known. I should have known when you went in. I still have a Hadouken up. You wouldn't just walk into range of losing to Hadouken.
I might.
Yeah.
I might do that.
Yeah, sure, but like you won't initiate into it, losing to it very often. Like not if you have a choice.
No.
Because that's just
Not gonna initiate into a strike I know I'm gonna lose.
Yeah.
And that one would be one I know I'm gonna lose.
Yep. All right. So this is like this is the explosive shot or explosive. Is it explosive shot? Explosive
yeah, it's explosive shot.
Okay, thanks.
So here's another thing. You can play things that are face up. No one can tell you you can't.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if the opponent can work it out. If it just wins.
Yeah, and it's possible for it to not win, but force them to play an option that they don't want to lose, and then them being without that option makes your next attack better. This is an Iaquis thing, by the way. He's very big on that.
Yeah, never played him, but yeah.
Wild swing. in my
That
right.
sucks for you.
Yeah. So I take 7.
So the yep, 7, and I get 2 gauge.
Alright, I've got to come back in a hurry. Boost, move 2 and strike, EX attack.
Okay, so that it's probably calculable, but I also have a feeling I know what I'm pretty confident I know what it is anyway. That's a donkey kick, my friend.
You are correct. 7 power, my advantage.
All right, just let me think how I'm gonna spend. Spending 1, 2, 3 to take nothing.
Okay, I will prepare.
And here we're in the danger zone. I'm gonna. May I check what my last 3 cards are,
Absolutely.
actually?
I'm out both readings, though, so at least there's that.
That is important. I'm gonna spend 2. Or do I want to spend 1 or 2? 2 force to close 2. Wrong
only 1.
amount.
Yeah.
Yep. Shuffle that up. Sorry.
It's all good. Do you mind saving me time by telling me the 3?
Yep. I certainly will.
Appreciate it.
It is grasp, spike, and retreating bolts.
Ah. Oh, but you can't afford retreating bolts.
I can afford it. I just can't make it worthwhile.
That's what I mean. Like, it doesn't... It also doesn't hit, so... Okay, so grasp, spike,
Yeah.
retreating bolts. Alright, retreating bolts is printed for... Huh.
You know what retreating bolts does without spending?
Retreats.
Beat
Spike, notably.
Beat spike. It'll beat focus. It'll beat sweep.
Yep.
Speaking of, I'm gonna wild swing.
Mm-hmm. Alright, take 3.
1, 2, 3. Alright, so I know what he's doing. It's just a matter of what I do about it. And I think I just prepare, honestly. So my hand is grasp retreating bolts.
Thank you. I move 1, take another action. Boost light.
Gross. Strike.
Hope. Dang.
Yeah, I was pretty confident you were setting up for the light spike play based on the life difference, so I was just like, alright,
You are
cool.
correct. Alright, critical strike.
Yeah, that's Hadoken. I can't get out of the range of it, which is sad. Wild swing.
You get an armor.
Eh? Yeah, so I take 3, and I push you out of Hadoken range.
Which actually, yeah, may matter.
Yeah. I prepare.
Yeah, I'll close 1. This is a little risky, but I'm gonna do it.
Ooh. EX attack, spending 2 force.
Well, shoot.
I have 1 card in my deck that
Yeah.
hits at range 6.
Well, no, you have 2, but one's an ultra. Electro charge.
Oh, railgun exists. That's right.
Okay.
Don't know if I've ever played. No, I've
Okay.
played 1 rail.
Hang on a second. This is actually really funny. Electro charge doesn't ignore armor.
Correct.
Well, my deck
It
is 2
is
copies
current-
of block.
And you got one of them.
Shockingly. Like, my deck is literally
You
2
have-
copies of block.
Oh, okay. So this is
9?
5, 7, 8 power. I only spent 2.
You only spend 2? Okay. Yeah, and you get 1 to keep it. Alright, so 8. Alright, well, I don't want to die, so 4, 6, 8 armor. Alright, and now
Are
I'm
you sure
okay.
you don't want crosses in Maka?
I don't think it's gonna matter, because critical
Yeah.
strike.
I'm gonna wild swing. That's my entire deck.
If you get a block,
I
it's
should have
fine.
checked what you had left, but I
Oh.
thought you'd reshuffled. What the hell is that? Okay.
Alright, I'm obviously looping.
I'm gonna change cards, 2.
Mhm.
This is a scenario where I will change cards because fight needs them.
Yeah, and you gotta dig for an answer here because I'm threatening to kill you pretty quick.
Wild swing.
Yeah.
What'd I get? Nope.
All right. See if we can finish it out.
Oh no, I'm in scenario where I could die. Bend. I don't want to do it. Spend 4 force.
Oh, well, I didn't want you to do it either. Retreat 1.
Just cross. I know what that card is.
Yeah, defensive, and then my last card's block.
Prepare.
Prepare.
No, I can't do it. Boost for armor and guard.
Me too.
Yeah, that works. Reading block, setting this, spending 1.
Huh. Is it assault? Oh. Okay. So 7 power. I currently have 4 armor, so I'm taking 3. Huh. My turn next, though. I'll take nothing. It does get release boost,
right.
which is kind of important. Repair.
So the same. Come
Light.
on. Tech.
Dang it. Swift.
Oh, sorry, someone's at my door. I'll just be
Oh.
back in a second.
Yeah, no worries. Alright, hope you all are finding this interesting. This is much more of a watch your action thing. I think it's not too hard to pick up on the principles of, like I call it, fearless disrespect. The kind of aggressive playstyle that lets you strike with things that, you know, saner players wouldn't even consider using because they lose to so many things. But they only lose to those things if your opponent actually plays them. And by the way, if there are any character requests, we are great on time. So let me know if there's anyone you want to see in action.
Alright, I am back.
Okay.
You boosted that, which is upsetting. Gonna boost lightning gun. Retreating.
I will move 1 and take another action. And then I'll prepare.
Right.
Strike.
Ooh, set this in response, no spend. Okay.
Yeah. I don't have any 1-inch punches, so I'm not threatening to kill you here. 4 power. Put you in the corner. This turns off 1 particularly important fast option, retreating bolts.
Yep, I will prepare.
You just have 1 of those left. Alright. Me too. This is so awkward on my part.
Boost this, spending assault.
Okay.
Advancing.
Stats.
And this is why we keep going around.
Excuse me. That's mighty inconvenient, I'll have you know. I'll advance 1 with reusability.
Prepare.
Huh. Alright. This is interesting. Alright, I think I have it. Ignore armor, strike.
That's the hurtful thing. Let's check if you have a grasp player. You do. So what we do here is we gamble on it not being the grasp, spend 3 power.
It is the grasp.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the
In that
grasp
scenario,
so
yeah, there's nothing I can do. I survived a fair while there because Fight can play better blocks than anyone. So
Not
really,
anymore.
that's my
Not Treasure Knight.
yeah. I don't know about that. So my mistake there is pretty obvious. I kind of thought he'd spent one of his blocks. I didn't realize they were both his deck.
Yep. I had easy access, so I didn't have to die. Otherwise, that would have been really
Yeah.
bad.
We got time for one more.
Yeah, yeah. What was the one we talked about? It was Swanji
Carl?
versus Beheaded?
Beheaded, yeah.
Yep. Alright.
Uh,
I'm trying to accustom myself to saying Swanji since we're about to have another Carl.
yeah, but I'm just gonna call them both Carl and be really confusing.
You know, that seems reasonable. That's a good plan.
There's Carl and Carl, and they both play maybe very differently or maybe the same. I honestly couldn't tell you.
So I'm going to make a note that the audience, we're making these references. You may note that Reggie doesn't use references. That is kind of part and parcel of this perspective because, like, why care about what your opponent's doing?
I mean, I will reference it occasionally, but it's not enough, in my opinion, to make one. I'll just use my opponents, but also it's just like, it should probably be on the board.
Oh, thank you. Wow. Alright.
I'll take first. Part of it is just, I get anxious if I can see all the options. I just keep checking and double checking. So, I just shut them out. It's also why, yeah, I tend to play to the cards I have in my hand because they, you know, they're the cards I have. I could spend all game searching for certain cards, or I could just work with what I got.
Makes sense.
Mulligan form. There we go.
Good luck and have fun.
Alright, you too. I'll strike.
That's probably coffee.
Yeah.
Alright, so I take nothing, I draw a card.
Gauging. Yeah, I gain advantage. I'll prepare.
Yeah, so for those who didn't see it, coffee, improvised weapon, which, you know, he throws a coffee cup, so we call it coffee. 3616.
Yeah.
Really not much I can do about this unless I happen to be holding jazz hands. That's
Yeah.
only 1 damage, so I don't really care. I give myself some extra range.
Oh, exciting. Setting this.
1 card, huh? I don't really think you cross out. Crossing out is not an aggressive play in the slightest.
If I was playing Mole or Fight, I would. I would
sure.
consider it an aggressive.
Yeah. Because they can both they both actually have ranged options, but Carl doesn't.
Yeah.
So I think let's block.
No. It was sweep.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Your advantage.
I will strike with this.
Set this.
Yeah, that one will work. You take 1.
Take 1. You take 4.
I do indeed.
I draw
Wait,
a
hold
card.
on. You take 0. You're Carl.
Oh, yep. That was a special. Alright. On my turn, I will EX attack.
Oh lord. Alright, so this is actually terrifying. So this could be any normal, in particular, because of Overload. But it could also be any of these. And he has a range 1 spike, which is to say range 1 attack that ignores armor and guard. We'll also call things range 1 spikes that don't necessarily ignore both armor and guard, but just one or the other, depending on their properties. The idea of Range 1 Spike is that it beats Focus and Sweep. That's really important. It could also be Power Short, which is a tidy 8 damage. Or something less impressive, like just a fast thing, or any given EX normal. I'm pretty terrified of this, but I'm not confident I can beat it with anything in my hand, so I Wild Swing. Cover some.
That's... Yeah, you beat the thing I played.
Perfect.
Alright, I take, 2.
Yeah, nice thing about having an ability like Carl's is that even when you lose, you don't lose by much. Alright. I'm gonna try to change that fact by giving myself extra power.
Prepare.
I'll give myself more power.
Oh, importantly, you also have extra speed here.
Yes, 1 point of extra speed.
Which is why we play an EX.
So do I.
Gross.
Huh, wait. Do I actually stun that? Hold on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minus 2 is 7? Yes, I do stun that.
And I have 5, yeah. So I take 7.
Yeah, I'll push you.
What was I on? 23, so
Yes,
I
so
should be on
16.
16, yeah.
Alright, I flip back, and then I flip back, because I'm beheaded, so I should
You
just...
didn't flip back.
No, I mean, like...
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
like just now.
Prepare. Come on, Carl, give me cards.
I'm gonna boost for speed and also retreat, because I don't want to be anywhere near you.
That's rude. Cease and desist.
Yeah, Headlong Run is a good boost. I'll boost defend.
Strike.
Alright, so much like stun immunity, defend has the property of pairing best with cards like this.
That's fine.
Oh.
That is a 5 power.
Yeah, just 5.
Spend this and take 1.
Alright, I'm going to strike.
Set this.
Alright. I'm just glad that I got this off without getting it elbowed, honestly.
Spend nothing. On my turn, I'm going to exceed.
Yep. So
And
your
now I'm
ace
a real
is-
boy.
Yeah, and a very, very scary one. So I'm ahead, but thanks to this, I'm not ahead by that much. How many ultras do you have down? 2.
2.
Alright. I've had worse. I will prepare.
I think I just strike.
Normal, so +2 power, huh? This feels like
And
sweet.
here, yeah, that's the thing. You can just threaten anything now.
Yeah, it could be 5 power grasp, it could be 6 power assault, it could be 8 power sweep, but it feels like 8 power sweep. I wild swing.
How dare you? It's 6 power focus.
Oh, that's fine. Alright, I'm
I
gonna
actually
play
really like focus.
one of my favorite boosts. Whoops, is good.
Tech.
That's a bit unfortunate. I'm going to prepare.
Strike. I really like focus specifically for the card draw.
Alright, I take 5.
Okay.
And then I exceed. And attain my final form.
Strike. Do you have
Speed 6.
something?
Oops.
I deal 1 damage to you,
And I discard a normal.
and you must discard. Yep.
And then I miss.
Yep.
And then I flip back. I'll strike.
Okay, so that's daggers, wild swing.
Yeah, 100%. 7 power. You take 6 cube armor.
Yep. I'm gonna change cards 3.
Mhm.
Carl doesn't have any use for gauge.
I will gain some extra range. Fair enough. I will prepare.
Strike.
One card.
One card.
I'm still terrified of elbow. I haven't seen an elbow yet. Let's see what's left in my deck. There is a thing that beats elbow in there. Wild Swing. That's not it. It's elbow. Alright, well.
It's not. It's never elbow until it's elbow.
I'm just happy I called it right for once. I get that wrong so often.
I play elbow a lot less than some other players.
I'm just conditioned to be terrified of it because I main Imogene, and Imogene gets destroyed by elbow. Like, it's awful.
Yeah.
Okay, I will prepare.
Oh, I still have that card highlighted. Strike.
Is it second elbow? Okay.
No, it's assault.
That's fine.
You take one.
Or
two.
Two, yeah.
Two, yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, I have advantage. Strike.
Wow, you're still not out of... You still have the grass sweep mix up. And elbow. I think I'm okay with this. I think I'm okay with this. EX Phaser?
Actually goes first.
Yeah, so I end up here. Then I take 4. And then I strike with this.
Oh man. How much damage does daggers do here? 11?
Yes. Well, 10 after armor.
10. That's unfortunate. I have no blocks left. Do I have... So I think that's game if... Oh no, it's not. There is...
If it's daggers, you
there
have
is
grasp.
option. I don't know why I shuffled that. That was the wrong power. Wild Swing. I have 2 grasps, I thought. No,
It
1.
is not daggers, though. So I win speed tie.
And that is... How much?
4,
Lethal.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, lethal. Good game.
Yeah. Adlet. Oh no, because my ability doesn't apply. I could block 2 of it, which takes it down to 8.
That would block 4 of it, because I wouldn't get the +2 from pushing you to the wall.
Oh! Yeah.
So actually, that would have saved you. But, yeah.
I forgot that has cannot move you because I do not play this card on defense. I play this card as
To crush sweeps.
oh, I can deal. Yeah, I play this card because it does 7 damage on it.
Makes sense. Alright, let's see. Jay said he had a question after the game. What's up, Jay? And also, Serato says, a huge advantage of aggressive plays, you can fit in more games. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
I've started Exceed just, a year and a half ago, and I have I'd say in the top 10 most games.
Most likely, yeah. It's,
Part of that comes from playtesting, but yeah.
It's truth. But yeah, it's still like when you can finish, 4 or 5 games in an hour, it's good.
That is my biggest advice to getting to at least like mid-level Exceed is just play a lot of games. The more you play, the better you'll get, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
It's a bit harder getting better from up there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Jay said, what made Wave to now? Oh, okay, he's asking me about one of my discard choices. So the answer is actually because Power Short exists, and I'm pretty sure I hadn't seen a copy. Now I'd seen at least one Photoshop, maybe both.
I hadn't played Power Short.
Yeah, so like I was thinking specifically that like it's not gonna do enough, and I'm gonna take 1 billion damage in response against Power Shorts whenever they come in. So I want it to secure kills, but I also don't need the EX to secure kills. Like, it's great, but I'm like, I've got another one. I need to stay alive a little longer. I wanted to do the phaser wave setup to end the game, and I did eventually get to do that. So when I play beheaded, I very much play like opportunistic until I have exceeded twice, and then I'm playing game plan where it's like, all right, how do I set up my end game and just secure a kill? Because he's very good at doing that.
Phaser daggers or phaser wave of denial.
Yeah, like phaser into something, because phaser gives you advantage and it gives you a boost that's +4 power, and so like you're standing at range 1, it's your turn, you have +4 power, strike with something. You'll probably kill them.
If he didn't if he didn't have the EX though, that scenario would have gone very differently because
Yes, it's speed 4,
elbow.
and he initiated with elbow, so
Yep.
I had to respond with the EX in order to actually get my setup to work. I think there was something
Yep.
else I played it in case of. I don't remember if you had an assault, but I think if you had an assault, that was the other thing. That's like, oh, I have
I
to
think
EX.
I think I had a single assault left.
Yeah. That probably. Also grasp. I just.
Oh
have
no,
to
I had
grasp.
grasp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Because grasp is
Okay.
5, so I actually had to EX it in order to get my setup secure. Seems good.
Any other questions for me? Because I'm gonna dart off and have lunch real quick.
I don't see any at present.
I'll be back in chat after lunch if you're still going. I
Seems
assume
good.
you will be.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll be around. I'm just gonna hang out for a bit. There's 25 minutes until Blue's section starts, so there's
Yeah.
plenty of time.
Yep. Thanks for listening to me, guys. If you have any questions, just ask me when I get back. But yeah.
All right, talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Yeah. So, for further evidence to your point, Strata, by the way, like that was 3 games, and it took less time than 2 games in any of the other sections. That's just a consequence of Reggie and I playing fast, even though we were playing slower than normal, like much slower than normal, to try and explain things as we went. So I'm not surprised that the section ended fast, basically.